Hey, Jonathan, AJ, need you guys to reconnect. We will start a little tardy this evening due to technical difficulties, but we have amazing banana footage to enjoy while we're waiting. Good source of 5 of the 6 health-giving vitamins. Aha. All right, you're back, AJ. Awesome. Thanks, guys. Apparently, everybody and their grandmother is streaming this Saturday because bandwidth is challenging, but we'll get through it. All right, friends, greetings. It's another installment of Vast Live. Thank you for joining us. We have 2 films this evening by Aja. My headphones are coming in and out, so hopefully I'm not choppy to you. We have sounds and conversation with Jonathan Saxon and Eva. Very excited to have both of those gentlemen live scoring our experimental films to kick things off. Right. Here we go. All right, you guys are live. I think. Hey, Jonathan, I think you have to hit that audio button again. If the Vimeo guys happen to watch this, we're doing a ton of QA for you guys. There we go. All right. I'm going to start this film. Sorry for the technical difficulties. Like I said, everybody's streaming this evening. Okay, here we go.
Can't hear AJ.
Check.
Yeah, you're good.
Got me? Alright, technical difficulties are now. We're about to make it happen, right?
No worries.
sorry guys, some technical difficulties over here. Yeah, I don't. She keeps the rhythm of the ebb and flow. Does not matter where she goes. She drifts along to the ebb and flow. Ebb and flow. You ask the question, does it hit me? You never more. He passes by, does it hit me? See your backwards, always see. You do what was living. It doesn't even matter. Whatever happened, probably forgotten, but we still know. We still know. We still know. All these creases, they make a flame.
Guys, thank you so much. Elavant and Jonathan Saxon, guys.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. Yeah, that was alright.
Very cool. me okay?
Yeah, we can hear you guys perfect. I'm a little loud. I gotta dial this down.
Check. That'll be my normal voice. Something kind of normal.
So hey guys, while you guys are switching mics, thank you again for joining us. This is awesome, and
Pleasure.
technical difficulties aside, like it actually creates a different sort of magic. I mean, on my end, my Wi-Fi went out when we started, and you guys had to reconnect and audio and all the stuff, but it magically kind of comes together, which is always what our vast lab things are about. Like folks that have never played together before, and now we have this whole virtual technical thing going on. It's almost its own instrument. Streaming hurdles.
Sorry about
that. It's like a new level of preparation for a performance. Trying to learn how to do this.
It's cool though. Like I've been watching a ton of them. Just they're all over, as you guys know, and you see reality. You know, it's not like this perfect sound stage, all antiseptic. I mean, even crazy recording artists, like they have glitchy shows, which is cool.
Yeah,
Yeah, just because you don't have to travel for the gig, there's a whole other, stuff you're working out. So I mean, people might think, it's the easiest gig in the world because you don't have to go anywhere. And in that sense, yes, it is nice. But there's so many other variables. And
yeah, definitely. It's you're bringing the show from your living room now. You have all the equipment, you're ready to take it to someone else's space. You got to make it happen in yours now. It's kind of a different hurdle. It's a different challenge to take on.
So
I have to say, thank you so much for putting this together, because it was great, and it's really, really fantastic to join you and AJ. Just really thrilled about the whole thing, and it's a lot of hard work on your part, and I want to encourage people who are watching to think about Vast Lab and what a great resource it is, and to help. It's a nonprofit, so I mean, they didn't ask me to say this. I really believe that support if you can.
It's true,
and everything's on the website.
We will be using that as a commercial now.
Thank you.
That was awesome.
You're welcome.
It's like little radio bumpers over in between your shows.
So guys, what have you guys been up to during the lockdown here? Have you guys been playing a lot of music? Start with you, AJ.
Yeah. No, definitely. I've been doing a lot of experimenting and kind of like pulling out instruments and things that I don't get to play with, during the normal hustle and bustle every day. And it's like, I'm gonna pull this out and do a little jam and like find the pieces within that and put that in things. So a lot of like, alchemy happening on my end, just kind of exploring and, seeing what the next step is. And, of course, like all the self-care and everything, and eating good and spending time outdoors a little bit when you can. Just trying to make the best of being in your space all the time. But all those things that, you thought you didn't have time for before, you suddenly have all the time in the world for,
Do you find, AJ, you're being more creative? Or is that different?
It's different. It's different. You have a lot more time to create, and you feel like, oh, sick, I can make anything I want. But also because you are kind of confined, and you kind of have this like little area that you're allowed to be in, it's hard to be inspired the same way, So for me, it's a lot of just instrumental stuff. Like I haven't done a lot of writing like I normally would. You know, I haven't written a bunch of lyrics or anything. I've written a few, but not as much because you're kind of seeing the same things all the time. And so it's where do you pull that from? And so I just kind of put the emotions into sounds for now. You know, just making the instrumentals, making those other things that I can without. It's okay without the writing involved. You know? Sometimes things come, but for the most part, it's kind of a hodgepodge.
We were talking a little bit about that last week with humors. It's going to be interesting to see. I mean, it's interesting to hear the music now live, all the stuff that's happening. But to your point, AJ, it'll be interesting to hear records that come out a year from now. I think Freddie was joking.
Yeah.
It was, you know, the quarantine albums.
Yeah, everyone locked away is just like plugging away at their next album, their next project, and it's, you know, it's fun. It's fun. I mean, I think that there will be a lot of really interesting things that come out of this, at least hopefully. You know, I would love for everyone to put out things that sound new and different and innovative, and you know, really show us that, hey, I was locked away in my space, trying to stay safe, but I, you know, continue to work on these things I loved and continue to expand and try new things and find new sounds and, you know, bang on new drums. I don't know, whatever. You just kind of do it a little extra, do it a little bit deeper. That's the hope, right?
Right on. Jonathan, how about you?
Well, is that me? Let me turn that. I think the piezo mic on my electric kalimba here was picking up my voice. Okay, so yeah, I was tried to turn. So at any rate, I've been the past week. I've been getting ready for this. I wanted to make sure that my setup would work, and so I played around quite a bit this week with that, and that was great because every day I had a little goal. Okay, I'm going to get this done. I'm going to get that done. And by the time today rolled around, it was really, I didn't feel rushed, and that was a really nice feeling. And other than that, it's kind of like for me as a percussionist and drum set and with electronics, I practice for the gig in a way, like, okay, what's next? I have a practice routine, kind of. If there's not a gig, I'll want to work on something, you know, but so I was doing that before this was scheduled. And then once this was scheduled, I really wanted to focus on, okay, what setup am I going to use? And how am I going to mic things? And so I got really busy with that, and I was very thankful for that. And man, I think AJ mentioned something about eating well. And I think I haven't ate this well in so long because I'm cooking everything, and I never used to really cook before. So I'm learning a lot. Yeah, it's really nice. I feel better too.
Oh yeah.
So yeah. But you know, I have to say, thinking and answering that, I'm also now thinking, what do I want to do? And definitely would love to collaborate with AJ because before sound check on Thursday, I hadn't met or performed or played any music with AJ. So, but I found it to be very enriching and enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah.
And he's a really good improviser too. So, you know,
thank you so much.
That's something I look forward to. Yeah, for sure.
I would love to see you guys work together. I mean, when you see the footage after, there were some moments that just totally gelled, and I love that. You know,
I can't wait to watch it. And
total jazz.
I would totally love to do something with you, Jonathan.
Yeah, and I like
this is been a lot of fun.
pieces too. There's a, by the way, the audience probably would like to know that there's a little delay. So if we're talking over each other, that's probably why. Um, but I like the vocals and you have a range of vocal stuff you do. At least that's kind of what I'm gathering from hearing you on Thursday and today, and also uh, the tracks that you write to go behind it. I just naturally hear like I want to play behind it, kind of. So
Yeah.
So it's a good fit.
Yeah, I'd love to get down with you sometime. I mean, I'm always trying to find some new ways to play with my voice in the music. So yeah, there's a lot of different types of my voice and layers of my voice and my stuff, and I think it's a fun thing to explore. I mean, it's the greatest instrument we have at some point. You know, it's like you gotta see what else you can do with it, stretch it. So yeah, I'd love to do some sort of collab with you, or some jamming, something. Let's do it. And thank you so much for. I'm glad you really enjoyed the track.
Sure about that. Yeah,
definitely.
I loved it. Sorry. Yeah.
Hey guys, so AJ, what
How about you, Daniel? What about you?
What about me?
What have you been doing?
What have I been doing?
During this whole thing?
I've been baking a lot of bread.
Asking people. Oh. What kind of bread?
Actually, today I cracked open the Mary and Vincent Price cookbook. So,
wow.
Yeah, I mean, Vincent Price has an art museum. He has a cookbook. His wife
Wow.
and him, and it's pretty
So
amazing.
like
it's all recipes from all over America that they've done in their travels, and then they have like a tasting menu from Bedford, Massachusetts. It's some 1600 joint.
Oh, okay.
Do you know what?
So I'm a huge Vincent Price fan, and when I heard that he had a cookbook, I scurried eBay a couple of years ago and got super lucky. So,
nice.
So cool.
Anybody that likes cooking and Vincent Price, definitely find the cookbook.
Cool.
Well,
very cool.
So Dan, I feel like you had a question.
The last question I wanted to ask you guys was a little bit just background. So AJ, we'll start with you. Like the first time I heard you was probably 2 years ago, not long after you moved to LA. So
yeah.
Give us a little background on when you get started, the differences between LA and elsewhere, and anything that you wanted to fill in the gaps well.
Yeah, like you said, I think you were actually one of the first venues, if not the first venue, that kind of opened its doors to me when I got here to LA. I feel like LA is one of those places where if you aren't from here and know a lot of people, or if you haven't built up enough of like a following or like credits before getting here, it can be a bit challenging to get those opportunities. And so I was really grateful. Someone I met that was also a musician told me about Bass Lab and said it's a great place to reach out to. And I did, and you were really gracious. And I actually still have the recording from that show. Maybe I'll do a live album release or something at some point. But for me, I've always loved music. I always dabbled in it. I played, I picked up different instruments throughout my years growing up. I, did a little piano, a little violin, a little this, a little that. Nothing mastered, but enough to kind of understand a bit of. And then that just kept me going. And like, I don't know, the music thing, it just kind of came from me. I was like, I needed a way to express myself. I've done tons of visual arts and painted, photography, hands. But for me, the music was the way that I could express my real thoughts the clearest. It was the art that felt like it came the most from deep within. I think the very first project I ever released is it's really messy and experimental and it's screeching and crazy at some points, but the emotion that I was able to achieve and find in it was so raw and visceral that I couldn't put it down. And I was like, well, I'm going to keep doing this. And I originally, I originally had no intention of performing it. I didn't even think about the idea of, doing anything like this. If you had asked me, man, 4 or 5 years ago, even, if I would be doing a live stream right now, or if I'd be performing, I'd probably be like crazy. But I'm loving it. It's changed a lot of the way I view the world. So, hope I didn't go too off the rails there. Yeah.
No. Jonathan, how about yourself? How did you come about that room full of magical things?
I started out playing drum set and over the years branched out into playing percussion with congas and then hand percussion. And I'm still, got such a vast world. It's so vast. And so I'm still learning so much and exploring so much and learning new instruments too. Percussion, there's just so many little frame drums that I've never used to play, and I just started picking up like a pandero, which is like a Brazilian tambourine. And electronics is the newest part of it. I essentially wanted to add something, a sound to this, what's called a kalimba. And because it's kind of limited, it's in one key, it's only like 2 octaves, and I could buy different ones that have different tunings and so forth. And in the meantime, I thought, let me try using some effects pedals and some loops. So that's kind of the trajectory of where I started from up to here. And I do like to play a lot. As a drummer and percussionist, I don't compose a lot, but I want to play. So I'm always looking for opportunities to play. And sometimes it's like in this format, sometimes it's with a group. And there's a pretty healthy improvised music scene here in Los Angeles. And so when I perform live, it's most often in different formats in that community. And I have, but also, I mean, I grew up on rock, and I love playing rock and jazz and influences of types. So I would like to do more of that, and but I sometimes don't want to wait around. So that's how I started doing all this, because I wanted to play more and create more situations for me to play in. So and
It's so cool. There was a moment when AJ was doing his last song, and you pulled out the megaphone, and just something about that like was magical.
Is that what that was?
Yeah.
That was the megaphone though? I was wondering what that was. I loved it. I didn't know what it was though.
It's a little kid's megaphone.
It was so good.
I found it at the Goodwill store. It's brand new in a box. I found it at the Goodwill store.
That's amazing.
But to your point, Jonathan, exactly. Like, you have so many things on hand there. Like, you can get that spark in your head and say, "Where's the megaphone?" And it fits so nicely.
Yeah.
Like, that's why I love like I love this, like from a jazz perspective, but to another octave, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so cool, man. You got like a toy chest over there.
Yeah. There's I have, you know what a bun pan is?
Oh yeah.
Cakes.
You make cakes in that, right?
Yeah. This thing, man, has the. I learned there's a percussionist here in LA. His name's Brad Dukes. He's incredible. Like, but he has a bunch of these because they have this really nice
Oh
sound.
wow.
But
Oh,
he
okay.
has them in like 8 different notes. And he just, so when he told me about that, he goes, yeah, you can find them in the Goodwill store stuff, thrift shop. So I found this on the same day. I'm pretty sure that I found this. So
Awesome.
I got lucky, yeah.
So good.
So to go with the cooking theme, I thought I'd pull that out.
Yeah, man.
There you go.
We'll do another one with like bread hot out of the oven to bunt pan percussion.
There you go. Or like score you cooking some bread with like mostly bunt cake percussion, you know, bunt pan.
I don't know, man.
I don't know.
If we're gonna get stuck in here for a while longer, yeah, we may go in that direction for sure.
Yeah.
That'd be creative.
I wonder what kind of lyrics they would come up with.
Oh man, they'd be delicious, I'm sure.
Hey guys, thank you so much again for joining tonight. This was awesome, and I can't wait to hear you guys get together and do some more stuff.
Awesome, thank you, Dan.
Absolutely. Looking forward to
Thanks.
it. Thanks again. This was wonderful. We really appreciate what you do too.
Thank you. And thanks everybody for tuning in. We'll be back next Saturday at 8:13.
Thanks, guys.
All right.
Take care out there.
Thanks. Have a good one.